Hello mountain bikers, and welcome back to your favorite gear show. With the season in full swing, there's lots of interesting things happening in the world of mountain bike gear, and nowhere was that more obvious than at Eurobike, where once again the cycling industry gathered up to talk shop and show off the latest and greatest. We had full coverage from the event up on the site as it happened, but we thought we should summarize it for you here today as well. So instead of our usual month in a minute, we've got a Eurobike Extravaganza to stoke you out. Later in the show, we'll get to our usual reviews with a new helmet, dropper post lever, tubeless tools, and even some new underwear on the menu. Okay, let's go! French suspension manufacturer Fast showed us their new Ride Shock, essentially a simplified version of the Phoenix that hits a lower price point. Fox gave us a sneak preview of the new Speedframe RS that gets a MIPS Integra system instead of classic MIPS. The new lid will ship in 2024. KS is jumping into the wireless dropper post game with the Lev circuit. Based on our first impressions, it seems highly reactive and smooth to operate. Bike Yoke is also working on a wireless dropper. Based on the Revive, this one will hide all the electronics in the post base itself. Schwalbe released a Taki Chan tire, developed together with the Commensal Mokov team. G-Form has a new form, pun fully intended, a more classic construction with a new biodegradable viscoelastic material called ReZero. Wellgo is dropping a new composite flat pedal called the B353, and they're having fun with the colors on this one. HD pulled back the veils on its latest alloy flat, the Talon. Newman has also decided to join the flat pedal club by introducing the new Beskar. Also new from Newman, the Varigrip system, which lets you dial in the width of your cockpit without having to cut your bars. Praxis dropped the Lift carbon crank at 420 grams and $420. It looks certain to lift you up. Rocky has updated the Slayer with longer and slacker geo and the near ubiquitous in-frame storage compartment. GasGas is throwing its hat into the muscle-powered mountain bike ring with the TR10. More models will follow next year. Lightville has made a carbon frame for the first time, the impressively light 301 Enduro bike, which tips the scales at a mere 12.1 kilos for the build shown here. Kona has an alloy version of the Process X almost ready for retail. This one will drop at the end of the year. Pinion has combined their gearbox with an e-bike motor in the new MGU, Motor Gearbox Unit. Oakley is growing its mountain bike range outside of sunglasses with a bunch of new protection, apparel and the flat pedal shoes shown here. Enduro Bearings had their great-looking bearing tool range on display, with solutions for removing and installing bearings in all the little nooks and crannies on your bike. Junior Tools showed off this handy split wrench, made specifically for installing and removing pedals, as well as a nifty little mini wrench that should be the right size for most brake hose fittings. Park Tool has a new crimping plier, which allows you to also crimp from the tip of the nose to get to those hard-to-reach cable ends. Keeping it in the tool category, Feedback's awesome new Pro Mechanic HD gets our nod as a super stable and easy-to-handle workstand. We spotted this new lid on the IXS booth. Details were scarce, but it seems to be an evolution of the Trigger with extra ear coverage. Leat had a new Carbon 6.0 full face on display. It looks a lot like the 4.0, but we'll know more in 2024. Leat also showed us their new apparel range, like the new All Mountain series shown here, which features lots of pockets, including a storage space for your convertible helmet's removable chin bar. ODI's new Vans waffle grips are now ready for retail, so you'll be able to get your mitts on a pair soon. Peaty's has developed what looks like an excellent tool strap, with a separated strap system that will work particularly well in wet and dirty conditions. Alpine Stars has reworked their whole range of apparel, now split into 3 distinct categories, each with specific features. Alpine Stars has also developed a new viscoelastic material of their own called Nucleon Plasma. It is said to allow for a more breathable construction than D3O, for example, and will be featured across the Alpine Stars protection range as of 2024. And to conclude this Eurobike news section, Rotor has shrunk their road cycle power meter to play nice with mountain bike-sized chainrings. It features 4 strain gauges, so it will also work with oval chainrings if that's your jam. Whoa, what a great show that was! So much cool new gear headed our way. And speaking of cool new gear, let's get into the reviews. How about some underwear to start things off? Yeah, that's right, we've been testing that too. Underwear specialist Beneath, originally founded in British Columbia as My Package, has long been selling boxers, briefs and trunks equipped with their unique 3-dimensional pouch. Essentially, a separate compartment equipped with an extra set of flaps that help keep your equipment from getting all up close and personal with your crotch and thighs. Beneath sponsors a number of high-level mountain bike athletes, and they've long been asking the company to produce a chamois liner. Well, Beneath listened and answered the call. The North Shore Chamois and Bib shorts both feature a 12mm STS pad with Ionic Plus fabric to help combat any odors. What sets these liners apart is of course the integration between the chamois pad and the My Package pouch technology. We were skeptical when we first saw it, as we've been used to a full chamois pad that runs the entire length of your crotch area, but within just a few minutes of the first ride it became obvious that Beneath was onto something here. The pouch technology does a great job of keeping your boys in check, but you don't get that constricted feeling that you can sometimes get with a traditional pad. Those tend to be a bit stiff where you sit on them and can squash things up a bit down there. The regular beneath underwear runs a bit big. On the company's recommendation, we ended up sizing down for the normal underwear, but went with our regular size for the chamois liner, and that turned out to be the right call. We also tested the bib short, which is just as comfortable in general, although we found the straps a little bit on the tight side at our usual size L for a 6'0" rider. In summary, without wanting to resort to unwarranted hype or hysteria, this chamois liner is by far the most comfortable this tester has ever used, and my only issue now is I only have one liner and I can't wash it fast enough to keep up with my riding. Now then, from underwear to helmets, let's change things up a bit. After teasing it at the World Cups last year, Specialized finally launched its new downhill helmet, the Dissident 2, in April of this year. Developed together with downhill stars Loic Bruni and Finn Isles, the second-generation Dissident leapfrogs its predecessor, offering riders modern styling and safety features to meet the demands of downhill racing. The Dissident 2 uses a 3-layer construction, a carbon outer shell, polycarbonate mid-layer, and internal EPS foam. The EPS foam is split into 5 inserts of varying densities that are strategically placed throughout the helmet to best absorb impacts, while maintaining a low weight. There's a MIPS Evolve solution system inside the helmet to redirect rotational movement during a crash. The MIPS liner attaches to the EPS foam via fabric pockets that are designed to reduce unwanted movement or annoying creaking. Compared to the first Dissident, the latest version is much slimmer, with sleek curves and a fixed visor that mirrors Specialized Gambit and Ambush models. Heat management is handled by 3 intake vents under the visor, 2 on the side of the chin bar, and 8 exhaust vents on the back of the helmet. Other features include an antimicrobial Ionic Plus liner and cheek pads, and classic D-ring buckle closure. On the trail, the Dissident 2 has quickly become one of our favorite full-face helmets. From e-bike adventures to dirt jumps or enduro laps, it delivers superb comfort in a lightweight package. The helmet's slim profile and sleek, race-inspired curves create a high-end aesthetic as expected from a $500 helmet. The fit of our size medium was snug but not tight, and the soft, thick cheek pads and liner gave the helmet a cozy, full-coverage feel. For a downhill-rated full-face helmet, the Dissident 2 is impressively light. Combining its low weight with its wide goggle port, stubby chin bar, and high-mounted visor, the Dissident offered an unrestricted view that made us forget we were wearing a full-face helmet at times. The true test of any helmet is how it performs during a crash, and we managed to take one solid digger during testing. Luckily, the Dissident managed the impact exceptionally well, and we got up after our slam clear-minded and thankful the helmet had done its job. The only knock we have on the Dissident 2 is it lacks proper ventilation and would benefit from additional intake and exhaust vents. Specialized might claim that the few strategically placed vents maximize airflow, but on the trail, the helmet quickly heated up and struggled to exhaust heat. Peering inside the helmet, the one-piece liner covers all vents, further limiting airflow. When riding e-bikes or dirt jumps, the lack of ventilation was less severe. But when wearing the helmet while pedaling our trail or enduro bike, we quickly overheated and resorted to removing the helmet during climbs. Finally, the MIPS Evolve solution system made as much noise as any other MIPS-equipped full-face helmet we've worn. While not something that bothered us during testing, if you are driven mad by loud full-face helmets, the Dissident 2 does not deliver the silent ride it claims. Overall though, the Dissident 2 represents a huge step forward for Specialized full-face helmets, offering riders a comfortable, light, safe and badass-looking downhill helmet. It comes at a hefty price, but is well within the range of other premium full-face models. And while not the most breathable helmet we've tested, the Dissident 2 is an excellent option if you plan to spend most of your time riding a chairlift, e-bikes, or don't mind climbing with your helmet off. We've seen a few spy shots of a Hope dropper lever here and there, but we didn't know if they were actually planning on making it available. Apparently the whole thing started out just as an internal side project, but Hope eventually gave in to customer demand and decided to make a product out of it. Time then for us to find out what it's all about. There's no mistaking this lever's heritage. It's obvious from the first glance that it's made by Hope. The machining is first class, and there are a couple of nifty little features that help it stand out in a crowd of options. The lever blade's starting position can be adjusted with a screw, just like the one found on Hope's brakes. And the position of the thumb pad can also be adjusted to provide for more or less leverage force. There are 2 mounting holes as well to let you fine-tune the placement of the lever on the bar. Installing the lever was easy. We mounted one unit to a Hope brake using Hope's own Matchmaker-compatible adapter, and another unit using a standalone handlebar mount. In both cases, we were able to comfortably position the lever where we wanted it. The lever pulls an average amount of cable, so it's compatible with most any dropper post currently on the market. We tested with a pair of bike yoke droppers with excellent results. We love being able to change the starting angle of the lever, as we often find that the lever that starts out with a bit of angle towards the thumb feels better as it cycles through the stroke. The action of this lever is super smooth thanks to the large bearing it rotates on, and the overall experience is certainly one of quality and ease of use. Definitely one to consider if adjustability is high on your list of requirements, or if you just need a bit of bling to match your build, of course. Peaty's has been on a roll recently, introducing a few new products that all seek to solve rider problems in a smart and useful way. As an example, here are a couple of useful little items to add to your tubeless tool arsenal. If you ride tubeless tires, you need to carry a tire repair kit. Peaty's whole shot contains a set of plugs of different thickness, as well as the plunger needed to insert the plugs. The plunger is shaped a bit differently compared to the classic prong design. This one features an offset jaw that makes it easier to grab the plug from the strip. It also makes it easier to retract the plunger once the plug has been pushed into the tire. A small detail, but a thoughtful one. As with many Peaty's products, the whole shot plugger kit comes in 12 Chris King colors. Once you've fixed the hole in your tire, you need to inflate it again. The whole shot CO2 inflator kit comes in handy if you want to use a CO2 cartridge instead of a hand pump for this task. Simply screw the inflator head onto the cartridge, place over the valve and press down to release the gas into the valve. The straight design of the head makes it easy to line up with the valve, and Peaty says it also increases the flow of gas. The kit includes a protective sleeve to avoid freezing your fingers, as the CO2 cartridge gets very cold when the gas is discharged. Just like the whole shot plugger, the inflator head comes in 12 Chris King colors as well. To finish off your bike in those same colors, get yourself a pair of Peaty's tubeless valves. The valves feature a base that is compatible with tire inserts and come with both a valve core tool and a 3.4mm spoke wrench integrated into the two caps, respectively. There are also 3 different lengths to choose from to make sure you can match your valves to your rim height. All good stuff from Peaty's. Okay then, that's the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time to tune in. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, happy trails.